It'll hold.
We're not gonna make it.
We'll make it.
Pull up! Pull up! You did that on purpose, didn't you?
We need to get to the bridge. From there, we can use the captain's neural implants to initiate an overload of the ship's fusion engines. The explosion should damage enough systems below it to destroy the ring.
We're on the last mission, the Maw. This is actually one of my favorite missions. And I do like the... I've kind of liked and disliked the updates on graphics. Mostly the environment has changed the scene of pretty much every level with the flood. But I definitely like that opening scene. The Pillar of Autumn looks so sweet, even though it's obviously halfway destroyed. So this is the first little encounter. Of course, watch the popper flood down below. You don't want to jump down and have poppers there. I believe there's 4 of them. And then just make sure you're not overly aggressive in this area. Those sentinels can certainly destroy your shields pretty fast. Then up ahead, I think it's usually the first guy has a shotgun. So try to kill him quick. I throw a grenade here and I don't know, maybe regret it because the shotgun disappears. So I'm wandering around here for quite a little while, just trying to figure it out. If you go or find it, but there's going to be plenty of shotguns, so don't get too worried. The next section definitely would be useful to have a shotgun, but like I said, if it blows up, nothing you can really do about it. So I'm going to end up just using the assault rifle and a couple of grenades to take out. There's a ton of flood in this area, so just make sure you're careful. There we go. I usually try to shoot first and then throw grenades, mostly because a lot of the times the grenades will even if it's a frag grenade, they'll bounce off or go into a, the grenade will get thrown into a spot where you don't actually mean to throw it, with all these infection forms running around. So as you saw, one grenade did the trick, killed everybody but one. And there we go. Shotgun is what you'll be using for most of this level. I completely forgot about them, so don't get thrown off. Few shotgun, really one grenade probably could have done the trick, but a few shotgun rounds will work fine too. And most of the way you'll probably be using shotgun pistol combo. Next best thing is probably shotgun plasma rifle, just for the sentinels. Up here, there's Covenant and Flood that fight. I can't quite remember if there's any that come from behind, but there's really not. The Covenant are going to win, so feel free to pick off as many of the Covenant as you want. I actually stuck that Flood, just kind of interesting, because I didn't even see him when I initially threw it. I was looking actually at a different one. But for this section, you'll temporarily use pistol, plasma, pistol combo. There's an easy kill. I can at least get those easy ones. I'd probably get rid of the fuel rod cannon grunts first. But you may just have to pick off whatever you can. You definitely, especially in this circumstance, with everybody facing the door and not that far away from the door, I would not be aggressive. Just hang back and pick them off when you can. The fuel rod cannon grunt is the enemy. Oh, look, and there's that other hunter just kind of chilling and camping. But the fuel rod cannon grunts, and of course the hunter got caught by the wall. That one I felt like should have killed him. Caught by the wall again. There we go. But the fuel rod cannon grunts and the hunters, if I could finally finish my thought, are the things that can kill you the quickest. So just be careful of that. And then I thought I saw a plasma grenade, but I guess I didn't. There we go. Got the elite. And then I completely forgot there's some more that appear. There's like 2 or 3 grunts and then 2 elites that'll appear if you reach it about halfway through. So all of a sudden I'm like, oh crap. I got really lucky in stick 1 though. That's pretty much pure luck right there. I'm not overly concerned about losing too much health right now. Of course, be careful. But there should be some health packs coming up here. Nope, just missed him. Yeah, and then I kind of realized I got a bad angle on him, so I go back. This is too far away, so I'm going to use these little small walls to help. And I think all the grunts are retreated, so it's just one-on-one right now. Not sure why he's popping back out, but you shouldn't have to worry about more than 2. And again, that fight was so much easier because I stuck that first elite. I would have struggled quite a bit more. There we go. And that did all the work for me, or the rest of the work for me. So again, just don't be caught off guard by the fuel rod cannon grunts. There is an elite over here. There's that health pack. There is an elite to the left.
Made it. Let's get to work.
Stick him, which I did not do. I thought I 100% thought that I did. I could quickly go and pick up another plasma grenade if I can here. But I 100% thought that I stuck him right away. But I guess I didn't. And just kind of slowly pick off the grunts. Some of the times those fuel rod cannon guns will kill the rest of the grunts. I believe there's just 4 of them.
I need you to upload me into the control systems. The terminal is located next to the main view screen.
And then actually make sure you pick up a plasma rifle or pistol. Doesn't really matter which, but the shotgun and pistol are kind of useless against sentinels, so plasma rifle and then go to the cutscene.
I leave home for a few days and look what happens. This won't take long. There. That should give us enough time to make it to a lifeboat and put some distance between ourselves and Halo before the detonation.
I'm afraid that's out of the question, really.
Oh, hell.
Ridiculous! That you would imbue a warship's AI with such a wealth of knowledge? Weren't you worried it might be captured or destroyed?
He's in my data arrays, a local tap.
Oh, how I will enjoy every moment of its categorization! To think that you would destroy this installation as well as this record. I am shocked. Almost too shocked for words.
He stopped the self-destruct sequence.
Why do you continue to fight us, Reclaimer? You cannot win. Give us the construct, and I will endeavor to make your death relatively painless and...
At least I still have control over the comm channels.
Where is he?
I'm detecting taps throughout the ship. Sentinels, most likely. As for the monitor, he's in engineering. He must be trying to take the core offline. Even if I could get the countdown restarted, I don't know what to do.
How much firepower would you need to crack one of the engine shields?
Not much. A well-placed grenade, perhaps, but why... Okay, I'm coming with you. Chief, Sentinels!
Not gonna lie, I really like the monitor as a character. I don't know, he might not really strike you as a real character since he's just an AI. But the way he words things, I think, is pretty interesting. Make sure you just stay crouched in this area and you should be fine. Wait for your shields to recharge like I did there.
The ship was heavily damaged when it crashed. Head to the cryo chamber. We should be able to get to the engine room through there.
But talking about like all the data that's on the ship, how we will enjoy every moment of its categorization. Just a funny way to, careful of plasma grenades. Just a funny way to word that. Makes him an interesting character. I didn't have any frag grenades at this point, so a frag grenade would have done me wonders. And obviously, as you could see, a plasma grenade is kind of risky because they all come after you. But nonetheless, shotgun you'd be fine with. I didn't lose any health there. There's usually a Flood right here, so make sure you kill him. And then Covenant and Flood are battling across that door. For a moment here, I'm going to try to find a frag grenade. I can't tell if those are frag grenades or Flood pieces. I didn't pick anything up, so guess they're not. And then it does not look like there's any loose frag grenades anywhere. So I probably picked up any that I did pick up from Flood. The Covenant will always win this battle. There's going to be 2 Hunters and an Elite. Hokiebird recommended taking out the Elite first. To me, it really doesn't matter. The Hunters will charge you. This is kind of a bad spot for me. There's a strong chance that, yeah, I'm going to get hit at some point just because there's not much maneuverability. But nonetheless, the Hunter was kind of an idiot. And now I can just charge the Elite with a shotgun if I want. I decide to stick him instead. There we go. Plenty of plasma grenades. There's a health pack too, if you need it. But head through this door for the next section. At this point, this is where you would probably need a plasma rifle. Because, yeah, there's all those. And I was like, oh, crap, this point. So I'm going to quick grab a plasma rifle. I won't fast forward it at all through this just because this is such a short level. I just don't feel like I need to wind or grind an hour and 55-minute video and try to get it an hour and 45. Pretty quick mission. But keep your plasma rifle. You'll end up dropping it very shortly, so you don't need to. I'd keep your pistol here. There we go. And I'm backing out early from these fights just because I don't want the plasma rifle to overheat. Plus it helps that the Flood eventually distract the Sentinels, so it's pretty super easy to not take any damage at all if you kind of play it right. The only downside is now, yeah, there's all those Flood. There's, I think, 3 around the corner here. Yep. Three, or maybe there's only 2. Either way, you'll still need a plasma weapon of some sort. I am going to keep them because I knew there's some more Sentinels coming. Yep. And then you can feel free to let them fight if you want. I don't. Again, I'm kind of more of a... Even though I tend to try to play more conservatively, I feel like it's chickening out. Just, letting them fight. I want to get thrown in the action. And I'll find other ways to conserve ammo and stuff like that. But, again, feel free to do whatever you want. If you want to let them fight, you can. The Flood will likely win. Yep, so just make sure you're aware of where all the Flood are. And then once you go up here, there's going to be a bunch that spawn down below. And I'm going to kind of let them fire at me. I'm not going to fire back yet. I'm going to you usually hide in this corner because it's a relatively safe corner. And then this one plasma grenade is going to end up taking out most of them. So this is a pretty easy way to play it safe. There's still, I think, a Needler flood down below, which I'll eventually get to. But again, I'm kind of playing it safe here. A couple of good sticks and you should be fine. There's that Needler flood. He's hiding behind that. There we go. So the flood thankfully took out those sentinels. I kind of hate to deal with sentinels with either shotgun, with pretty much any human weapons. Even the rocket launcher isn't entirely effective. But this is one of the most difficult parts of this level. I wouldn't say this level is overly difficult, but it certainly can be an area where if you were to die, including multiple deaths, it's probably from this area. Health pack off to the left there, mostly because these are infinitely respawning, so you just have to charge in. No matter how much damage you take, just charge in and head into this room. That way you can see them coming, you have a little bit of cover around a corner, and you can basically shotgun camp. Flood never throw grenades, so you don't have to worry about that. And then as you can see there, there's a overshield. And then I do kind of consider going back and seeing if there's any shotgun ammo, because I'm kind of running low. You can hit those flood to kind of save on your overshield. Again, I'm not always a big fan of overshields in flood. I kind of think that they're almost useless because those infection forms just take out so much of your overshield anyway, but whatever, at least it is a temporary help. So this is always kind of a safe room if you just need to get away from either the flood or the covenant, because as you'll see, both the flood and the covenant do come down these hallways and kind of flood down here, but there's also should be a health pack right around the corner. Yep, right down there. But you can't really go anywhere. You can try to throw grenades at the covenant if you'd like, from behind that the little door that's blocked off to the right. But I tend to stick here. It's kind of right in the middle of the covenant flood. So like I said, be careful, because they will hunt you down. Fortunately, this hunter isn't the brightest. But also be careful of popping out too quickly. I believe the flood are infinitely respawning. I could be wrong on that, but just kind of assume they are at this point until you reach a certain point. You'll end up wanting to go to the armory, and because I'm kind of running on the assumption that they almost got stuck there. Because I am running on the assumption that they are infinitely respawning, you'll kind of see my method that I do works pretty well. So I'm kind of watching the radar to see when a good time to pop out would be. You can see there's a ton of red. They just kind of slowly come one by one. At some point you got to make a break though, because I'm eventually going to run out of shotgun ammo. Ooh, he stuck that guy. So this might be a good time now that there's no grenades. I know there's people behind me, and fortunately this elite is kind of just playing it dumb and just letting me charge him. I mean, he could clearly see through that energy shield thing. But just wait down here. They should stop spawning when you get to the armory. Or at least like down this hallway. So armory, just be careful. I head back here immediately. But once you back out, you're eventually gonna make some flood spawn. And these are the only invisible flood in Halo 1. I know there's a ton, so come on. They'll eventually just start pouring out. Yep, there we go. I feel like they may be slightly easier to see in the new graphics, just because the new graphics are so detailed, and you can still kind of see the outline of the camouflage. Doesn't look like there's any more. But the ones that are immediately invisible do not have any weapons. So some of the other ones start off not invisible, and I think they do turn invisible eventually. When you're ready, head to engineering. I'm going to stop talking because Cortana is going to talk here, but just follow my path. It's the same basic path that Hokiebird uses.
Engine room located. We're here. Alert! The monitor has disabled all command access. We can't restart the countdown. The only remaining option is to detonate the ship's fusion reactors. That should do enough damage to destroy Halo. Don't worry, I have access to all of the reactor schematics and procedures. I'll walk you through it. First, we need to pull back the exhaust couplings. That will expose a shaft that leads to the primary fusion drive.
And you'll want to be quick because some of these doors have infinitely respawning flood. But just take the same basic path and never let go of the forward button or whatever button you use. I mess up a little bit here, so...
Good. Step 1 complete. We have a straight shot into the fusion reactor. We need a catalyst explosion to destabilize the magnetic containment field surrounding the components. Use an explosive. I recommend a grenade or rocket. If you run out of explosives, there is an armor station located in the engine center. Analyzing. Fusion reactor number 1 destabilizing. Use explosives on the other 3 reactors. That should be enough to trigger a wildcat explosion of the engines.
So yep, nobody's perfect, but if you were to run fast enough through this exact path the first time around, you wouldn't get infinitely respawning flood at all. But now, this is where they start infinitely respawning. Again, just hold the forward button like I did. You should be fine as long as you're also shooting. Make sure you wait for your shields to recharge. Don't rush into this one because there are poppers. So you want to make sure you kill the poppers first and then rush through. So like you saw there, I was able to make it. My shields are lower. I go for the back ones first. Same thing as Hokiebird. You can do them really in any order that you want. But once they open, there we go. Now I didn't fall down either. So as long as you're super quick, you should be fine. The longer you're here, the less chance you have to survive. So if you can manage to make it out, well, like before the Sentinels get there and before you start getting overwhelmed with flood.
Keep it up. Only one more fusion reactor to go. That's it. The engine's gone critical. Based on the current rate of decay, we should have 15 minutes to get off the ship. We don't have much time. We should move outside and signal for evac. Accessing schematics. There's a service lift at the top of the engine room. It leads to a Class 7 service corridor that runs along the ship's dorsal structure. Hurry!
So you may get overwhelmed with flood and sentinels like I do. Don't panic, just make sure you find cover, get your shields recharged, and there's plenty of health packs down below. That shouldn't be an issue. Same thing here. Of course, if you see a popper, don't charge in, kill the popper first, and then charge through, because those are still, I believe, infinitely respawning flood. So again, I'm being a little cautious because usually there's a popper. Watch out for nades. There we go. And just follow the point on your motion tracker. Get out your rocket launcher. Interestingly enough, there's an elite that apparently is pretty important in the books that throws some traps for Chief, but throw a couple nades and a couple rockets and you should be fine. again, those Spec Ops elites can survive a rocket, so just spray them. You should be fine. You're not going to need any ammo anyway, or grenades from here on out. So feel free to use all that you need to. Again, Cortana is going to be talking, so at some point I'm going to stop talking here for a little while.
Cortana to Echo 419. Come in, Echo 419.
Roger, Cortana. I read 555.
The Pillar of Autumn's engines are going critical, Bowhammer. Request immediate extraction. Approach the crash site and be ready to pick us up at External Access Junction 4C as soon as you get my signal.
Affirmative. Echo 419 going on station. Echo 419 to Cortana. Things are getting noisy down there. Everything okay?
Negative. We have a wildcat destabilization of the ship's fusion core. The engines must have sustained more damage than we thought.
Analyzing. You have 5 minutes before the fusion drives detonate. We need to evac now. Activating final countdown timer. When it reaches 0, the engines will detonate. The explosion will generate a temperature of almost 100 million degrees. Don't keep your eyes closed.
So for the first half, I follow the same route that Hokiebird uses. So just follow this direction. I mean, it works really well. And you'll notice at the very, very beginning, I kind of waited at the door. I actually have a blooper where I died from a plasma grenade that the elite threw. So it may pay dividends to play it a little safer. Just wait like 4 or 5 seconds. But in that first open section, you're going to go slightly right and then go to the center. In this second open section, just stay in the center the whole time. I do have another blooper around here. These sentinels can get very annoying. As you can see, they almost killed all my shields. They got me one time because I flipped my Warthog. But after the second section, there's this little shortcut that there we go, I finally get into. Take a left through it and then a left again. And then you'll pop out a little bit closer to where you need to be. Take a sharp left on the third section. And then basically hug the wall and go up on this platform. Some of the things obviously explode, but you should be fine. Just keep driving through. And then we have about 700 meters, 3.5 minutes, making very good time. For here, you're going to stay in the center as long as you can, but eventually there's a bunch of grunts. You'll have to kind of zigzag through. There's not an easy way to do it. I try to make all of them jump, so you got to get like as close to them as possible because you don't want any of them throwing grenades. But zigzag through the center here, and then you should be fine. I usually skip this ramp. I feel like it just kind of slows you down a little bit.
Request extraction now on the double.
Affirmative, Cortana. Bowhammer inbound.
Wait, stop. This is where Fohammer is coming to pick us up. Hold position here. Cortana to Echo 419. 2 Covenant Banshees are approaching on your 6. Evade. Say again, evade.
I'm hit! Mayday! Mayday! Everyone's under the shot to hell! I can't hold her! I can't hold her!
Echo 419! She's gone. Calculating alternate escape route. Ship's inventory shows 1 longshore fighter still docked in Launch Bay 7. If we move now, we can make it.
So 2.5 minutes is plenty of time. There's a couple of funny things about that. Cortana says that Echo 419 is gone, but like she didn't blow up. Like she was still driving. I don't know. It was on fire, so maybe she just died from overheating or something. But Cortana never blew up. But then you'll also want to make sure you eventually leave. Oh, and don't miss that like I almost did. There's another shortcut. You take a right and then another right. But you're going to want to leave before the Banshees. The Banshees will attack you, so just be careful about that. I barely got out before one of them Banshee bombed me. So again, just follow this route.
Up ahead, there's a gap in the trench. At top speed, we should be able to clear clear it.
And Cortana talks so much in this level, makes editing quite a bit harder. But I'm not even sure what gap she's talking to, if she was talking about that gap that we just missed. But you don't actually have to clear any gaps. So, again, smooth sailing from here on out. You shouldn't run into anything that's too difficult, other than, you know, making sure you beat the timer. And it's pretty much a straight shot too.
That's the ship. Move! We need to get aboard now!
And then I go left for two reasons. A, the driver's seat is in the left, so it's just quicker. And then B, there's usually no enemies. You get two elites. Oh, careful. Two elites on the other side, whereas you get nothing on this side. So then just make it before the timer and you're good to go. You have survived Halo.
We're cutting it close.
Here we go.
Come here, you mother... This is it, baby.
Shut them down. We'll need them later. Fancy a look?
Did anyone else make it?
Scanning. Just dust and echoes. We're all that's left. We did what we had to do for Earth. An entire Covenant armada obliterated, and the Flood. We had no choice. Halo, it's finished.
No. I think we're just getting started.
So thank you if you've watched any or all of my videos so far. This is the very last one in the series. Maybe, like I said before, I'll do a montage of deaths or something like that. But I have 3 total deaths, and here's the first one. Made it on the ledge and then didn't make it. So, oops, and there's a sentinel that died too. So I pointed out both my deaths at this point. The first one came when I didn't go in the center of that upper platform, and then I think I'm like, oh yes, I'm home free, and then I died. And then the final one came right away. Again, I get stuck. Well, I don't get stuck by the elite, but the elite's grenade, which he threw right there. I kind of try to avoid it, but I can't, and then I just plain die right there. I also thought I was home free. But thank you again for watching this series. Hopefully I'll have some more content at some point, but I am going to be done for quite a while. We got school coming up, so there's that. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.